Welcome back to Connect Conversations, styled by Hidden Hideout. Today I'm delighted to join my good friend and comedian, Mr. Ray Bradshaw.
What do you mean styled by?
Styled?
Oh, that, I thought you meant that. I was like, what, 2 plant pots? And you've got a sponsorship deal for that?
That's
okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
You're getting free stuff already?
Mate, I know, it's great, isn't it?
I barely get any free stuff. That's
Mate, I refuse to believe that.
No, I generally don't. I get some free Levi's stuff. I've been sent some stuff, but not a lot. I get the adverts I do are a lot of tenants in Iron Brew, so I'm very typecast.
Just small brands. Like
yeah, well, M&S, I was going to drop in M&S. I don't get that much free M&S stuff, actually. I used to have a discount, but they took it off me.
You get free tenants?
Yes and no. It's not even that good. I think I'd rather get fancy stuff.
Mate, Hidden Hideout, I must say, just because they are the partners, but they are good guys. David is a top bloke.
Yeah.
He's in the gym.
It's mad how you're reading that off a screen and not even saying that naturally, John. He is a good man, and I like him and respect him.
Listen, I appreciate you squeezing us into your busy schedule of being in Sky Sports, being all this stuff.
Today's been mad. So I've done 2 BBC things, Sky Sports, Talk Sport, and then I'm away to Celtic to the players' feet, and then I'll come back.
You had to, didn't you?
Do you know what, my wife told me not to do that, but I was like, I definitely need to do that. That is so funny. It's one of my favourite things.
Are you no Angie's missus?
No. It was more just, I can't believe you're like one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, and you're having to put an apology video, which is just spectacular. I've not even had to put in an apology video, I think.
I know. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I've still not figured out yet. I'm going to go with the good. Got to go with the positive.
Views work, man.
Mate, views work. How does it feel being that kind of guy in terms of being the go-to Scotland person then?
Mad. I was in Athens for the Scotland game at the weekend, and I probably did, if I had the ballpark, maybe 50 photos, 60 photos with people. And the worst part was the Friday night, me and my mate had been drinking for about 12 hours, and I woke up the next day with a fear, because people have been speaking to me, taking pictures and all that. The worst was in Germany. So we went out for the Euros, and I reckon in Glasgow Airport alone I did 15, 20 photos. And my mates are because I've done stand-up for 16, 17 years, I've done the worst gigs you can imagine. And all the way up, they were all, so when the first couple of people in Glasgow Airport, they're like, well, that's really class, man. People asking for pictures, this happen a lot. I was like, sometimes not a lot. And it got to, 2 hours later, someone asked me in Amsterdam Airport, they're like, can we get a picture of my mate's like, he's not even that fucking good. Why do you want a picture of him? He shat himself in P2. Just for absolutely abusing me. So that always helps. But yeah, no, it's good. I'm a big football fan, so getting to work in football is the best. The absolute best.
And throughout today I will try and not call you dad.
Yeah, that's... Aye, a wee guy in Athens called me dad, and he's messaging me there. I need to message and see what age he is, because he had a Christian Daily wig on. So I don't know what he was hiding under there. But that was 1 PM and he was absolutely steaming. But yeah, it was good. You've been to Bilbao, you've been away for the trips. It's just...
Yeah. It's good. It is good fun. It is good fun being away, especially I think as a Scottish fan, a Scotland fan. It is good fun. I remember I've not went to an away Scotland game for years. The last one I went to was Holland. It was a 3-0 scalping.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if it was the game before or after the McGregor and the Ferguson gate.
Oh, was it that long ago?
Yeah. Do you remember it?
Oh, what Boozegate that was called?
Boozegate.
I've never. I've interviewed. No, I've not interviewed them. I've interviewed players that were there, and they said there was a lot more of them drinking, but they were the ones that stepped up. Jeez, man, it's so much fun, though, isn't it?
Oh, mate, it's great. I love following the national team. I remember it broke my heart when it was the Italy game at home.
Panucci dived, 2000.
You remember it, don't you? Right away, you can see the tears rolling down your eyes.
There's been so many, because I'm doing. So we're recording this before the Scotland Denmark game. So I'm doing Sky Sports tomorrow, 8 AM. And if we win, it'll be incredible. If we lose, it'll be awful. The best one I've ever had.
Boozegate all over again.
Yeah, pretty much. I was me sitting on camera. I was on the day after we drew 0-0 with England, and I was on with Mark Wright, remember from The Only Way Is Essex?
Yes.
And I bought a mask of his face, and he interviewed me while I had his own mask on my face, because I was so hungover I didn't want to see the bags and all that. He was so sound.
Did you expect it?
No, because I was meant to do one of them, Sky Sports News, and then Sky Sports during the Euros. This is 2021, the COVID one, and then I ended up doing 7, 8, 9, 10 days in a row, and it was always me and Mark Wright just slagging each other off, and how are we pals? This shouldn't be working. I mean, say pals.
It's the oddest friendship
I've not spoken to him in 4 years, but still follows me. So that's all you can hope for.
You must be pals then.
Yeah, or maybe just someone else manages his socials. That's probably more likely. So yeah, but no, it's good. like doing my jobs. Like I've been self-employed pretty much since I was 21, 22, 23, with a couple of odd jobs in between there, but it's always been stand-up was my main bread and butter, and kind of moving into, not even presenting, I don't really know what you'd call it. I just try to do lots of stuff to pay my mortgage.
Yeah.
That's kind of the vibe
Pay the
I've got.
bills.
Aye, I've done kids telly, I've done literally everything you
The
can
whole
think
thing.
of. Aye. But, I mean, I can afford a David Lloyd membership, so I'm
Yeah,
doing
there you
alright. I'm doing alright.
You afford to come to see me sometimes.
Yeah,
as well.
sometimes.
Sometimes.
I went for a big, I enjoyed my PT sessions, then you just drop out of it, don't you? You went on holiday, then I went away for 4 weeks.
You don't need to say you enjoyed them, mate.
I did actually, because what did I tell you the first time I was with you? I hated the last PT I had.
Yeah.
And I was quite open about it. I was like, I hated everything you did. This is what I didn't like, and then...
Yeah, you gave me the whole spiel. It was like the most serious I've ever seen you.
yeah. I had a lot of hatred in my heart.
Yeah, you did have a lot of hatred. I was like, God, I thought you were meant to be a comedian, man. It was so serious. I was like, come on.
Why is he so angry?
Why is he so angry? Like, I don't know if it was like an act or whatever.
No, 100%. I meant every single bit of it. But
In terms of moving to being a slight bit more serious, so first question I got for you, you grew up as a CODA. For people that don't know what that is, you can tell them in a second, but how did your parents' deafness shape you as a kid?
CODA, Child of Deaf Adults, that's what it stands for. I do know 2017 I did the world's first comedy show in sign language in English. I signed the whole show and won a few awards. We don't need to talk about that. But one of the reviews, one of the reviews called me a coder, as in like a video game coder. And I was like, did you watch any of the show? Like, I was in sign language all the time. So yeah, so my dad's profoundly deaf, communicates only through sign language. My mum lost her hearing when she was 14 months old through measles, so there's like a difference between them. But I don't think I would have done stand-up. I don't think I would have, like, I was a drama student before that. Like, I was so confident as a kid, and I think that's because of my upbringing. Like, I will talk to anyone. I'm very laid back about stuff. And see, when I was like 7 or 8, I would phone the bank for my mum and dad. I would interpret in different situations. Still now, like, if I'm out with mum and dad, you kind of go default with that. So I think that led me to be confident. That's a lie. I've probably, in 17 years of performing stand-up or whatever, it's probably coming closer to 18 actually soon. I think I've been nervous about 5 times in my life. I remember there's a comedian, Michael Redmond, very good comedian, was Father Stone and Father Ted. Michael once said to me, he's like, you're the comedian that's most like they are on stage, off stage. I was like, oh, thank you. And he was like, it's not a compliment. It's like, you must be a sociopath. How do you not do this? But I remember standing backstage at the O2, 12,000 people there, chatting about what pub we're going to go to as they went, please welcome to the stage, right? And I was like, all right, cool, catch you in a bit. And just walk out. It just never, it's not my DNA. Like, the first time I did kids telly, I was nervous. The first time I did live radio.
What did you do in kids telly? Because I don't ever asked you.
I did TV warm-up for a show called The Dog Ate My Homework that Ian Stirling presented. Then I was a panellist on that for a bit. I loved it. It properly, I remember, who was it that told me it? It was a comedian, I can't remember who exactly it was. They said take all TV warm-up jobs, take all that kind of stuff, because you learn how everything works. So I would, like, I remember within the first day, there's a big camera that pans all the way through the audience onto things, and that's called a jib. And I remember about 5 years later, I was filming a telly show, and they were like, do you know what the jib is? And I was like, yeah, that'll come there. And it's just little things like that you just pick up. So I was at BBC Scotland for ages. I've done the warm-up for Mrs. Brown's Boys.
Oh, brilliant.
No, it was not brilliant. Genuine feedback. Don't clip this bit, but this is genuine feedback. You can put it in the audio.
And the figures, mate,
between the shows, I was asked to be less funny between the two
no
shows.
Way.
I swear to God.
No chance.
Because I was like hyping the audience up too much. Just with stand up.
Because they were going to it was going to drop.
I think it was. I mean, if they loved that show, but yeah, that was one of the things.
Be less funny.
That was one of my feedbacks.
Wow.
2021 because I was trying to get a mortgage. So that's right. Because I turned it down before. It's all those things like you got to move. So yeah, I've done live radio, live telly, presenting. Done pretty much everything you can think of, and I think that's what's really helped me. To go back to CODA stuff, like, we grew up in a nice area but with not a lot of money, so my mum would work 9 to 5 and then 6 till 9 teaching sign language. She had 2 jobs. She was a social worker, she would do that, and my dad would work, pick up overtime, he was a gardener for the council, so he would do all this kind of extra stuff. So I got this work ethic. So for me, it's always about adding on to your skill set, because if you're self-employed, like, COVID was the big time, because like everyone, comedy clubs were shut for 15 months, so we couldn't work inside, we couldn't do anything. theatres, all that. So you just had to readjust, and I kind of got through it.
So you know that saying people say, you should be a comedian?
You don't really, yeah.
Like,
people say you shouldn't be a comedian.
Yeah,
I get the opposite.
No, people say I shouldn't be a comedian. They're like, people, it's a general like funny phrase people use, right? And it's just I wanted to ask you, cause it's you.
Yeah.
I was like, did you ever get that? Did people say like you should be a comedian?
No, probably not.
Or,
I don't, because I started when I was 19, right? So I was so young. Yeah, 19 going on 20, that I think at that age, it's not so much about thinking you're funny, it's that kind of arrogance and confidence. So like, because the whole reason I started stand-up was I was 19, I was a drama student in Liverpool. I've seen someone, and we're kind of splitting up. And I went to a comedy club and got quite drunk, and I knew someone that was performing. It was a year above me at uni. And I went up to the guy that ran it, a guy called Sam Avery, who's now doing really well. And I went to Sam, I was like, how do you do this? And he was like, just come back next week, I'll put you on. And then, so 2 days before I started writing material, I'd never written anything. And then I went up, and it went okay. It wasn't good, it wasn't bad, it was fine. And then someone gave me a card and said, come do this gig, and it kind of went from there. And then to kind of look at it all over, I think if you're in your late 20s, if you're in your early 30s, like a good mate of mine is John Bishop, like I was on tour with John for years, he was always kind of told, oh, you're really funny, all this kind of stuff. And he was in his 30s when he started, he would have been 32, I think. And he went up and tried it. And to be fair, I wish I'd done that, because the rights to that gig has just been bought, and it's a film directed by Bradley Cooper. So I wish I'd done that. Yeah, so it's just done the New York Film Festival. So I wish I'd done that rather than just go down to a club when I was 18. But yeah, I think a lot of people when they're older, they get that. And sometimes you see, I've seen so many good people give up because I'd imagine it's similar to what you do. Like, see, at the start, you don't get paid. You need to get the experience. It's kind of like an apprenticeship. You work your way up. So people with families and all that kind of do drop out. Whereas I was dead lucky that when I started, there wasn't, like, I had a student loan that covered me. I remember this so vividly. I'm going to name drop again. I realise I've done 2 in a minute. That's not good. I was in what's that place called? Hillhead Book Club. Out with a couple of pals, and I got a text from the comedian Chris Ramsey. So Ramsey was one of the ones you could always tell was going to be famous. So Ramsey texted me and he was like, "There's a spot going tomorrow at Keele Uni. 15 minutes. Can you do it?" And I was like, "Yeah." I said yes, and then I googled where Keele Uni is. Do you know where it is?
No,
it's like 5.5 hours away. And I was like, why have I done this? Why have I done this? But I remember that gig. Oh, someone famous else was on. Can't remember who else was on. Maybe Greg Davies, maybe something like that. It was I can't remember who it was, but like you got to meet these people, you got to see it, and it was that kind of work ethic. So to go back to the question that you asked, I would say about 17 minutes ago, my upbringing played a big part in everything I do. Yeah. I genuinely think that. Like me and my brother, I'm the middle kid, as you can probably tell. So my sister and my brother were very educational, whereas I was like, no, let's go do as much as I can, and just kind of went that pretentious way. Yeah,
and your first gig, how did that come about? Because as we seen on your Instagram when you went through all the venues, you've done it, including the Bollywood dancing, shows. Oh, which we will 100% be getting up on.
Yeah, get it. So I gigged in Liverpool. I did a few gigs in Liverpool down there, and then I came back up, and I couldn't get a gig here for love nor money. No one, and I down in Liverpool, I wasn't established, but I was doing all right, winning competitions, and that's what you do when you start. I came back up here, and no one would give me a gig. And
do you know why though? You know why? Just like
no, people didn't know who I was. Yeah, people didn't know who I was. So I did the Scottish Community Year final. This is 2009, and I was so lucky, right? Because you had to do 5 or 10 minutes. And most comics, like, see now, the thought of me doing 5 or 10 minutes. The only time I ever do 5 or 10 minutes is telly. Like, I remember I did New Zealand Comedy Festival. I was doing a telly thing. You had to do 4 minutes, and I did 8 gigs doing 4 minutes, so I could work out what is 4 minutes. Because if you told me my set just now, when I tour, I do 90 minutes. What's 4? I don't know what that is. So I was like having to change bits about and do that. Yeah, it is, man. And the rule is over there, if you do more than 5, you don't get on the telly. And the telly's the big money. So, cause what is it, there's 25 acts or something like that? So split it over 8, 8 people over 3 telly shows.
Yeah, makes sense.
So, so I couldn't get, but I was lucky, I only really had 10 good minutes. And all the other comics were like trying to get 20 down to 10. So I won my heat, I won my semi-final. I got to the final, which was on my 21st birthday at the Old Fruit Market. And see, the next day, I got like 40 paid gigs. And it just went from there because people knew who I was by then. And so I started doing comedy festival shows like the ones you're talking about. So I think it's gone 30 people 50 people, 100 people, maybe 100 people again, 160, 200, 600, 1200, 1400, and now the next one's a 3,000 seater. But yeah, it's mad. It's mad seeing you think it. See, looking back on that.
Yeah.
Because that was my idea.
Some journey.
Video. Yeah, I don't remember half of that. Most of them were fucking awful. Like, that's why. But looking back on it, you're just like, yeah, it is mad just kind of seeing it like that. Do you know the weirdest, right? I don't know if I've mentioned this before. The weirdest part of touring, see that video when I look back? It's all cool.
The Bollywood.
The Bollywood, I really enjoyed that. I went to Bollywood lessons in Yoker for like 3 weeks and didn't tell anyone. And what did Swati and Natasha, I think were their names, the two Bollywood dancers I got on stage.
The reason I keep mentioning it is because every time I mention it, I get to put it on the screen.
It was to Jai Ho. I remember that. And it was just something different. And also,
I know, mate. It's class.
No, it's because I didn't have an ending to the show. An ending is the hardest bit. Like, you need some kind of big ending. So when I was on tour 2023, I had a couple of family videos and stuff like that. Last year I did a show Doppelginger, which found all the people that look like me, so that was easy. It was just videos and of handsome bald ginger men. Next year I don't actually know what I'm going to end with, but the Bollywood one I was like, that's an ending. That'll do. And
you even get the shoulders going
I've
there.
I've done, genuinely, I'm probably talking 6 lessons just for that.
That's
and
brilliant.
It was 3.5 minutes, and 2013 that would have been Jizo. I've still got hair. That's how long it is. I've still got a bit of hair. But yeah, it's when you look at all the weirdest bit. I was saying, I saw my own queue once, so I'd never seen my own queue. So like, you're always backstage, you don't see it. And then I was at the Pavilion in Glasgow, so we sold like 1,200 tickets, and I looked out and I saw a line around the block, and I was like, "What's that for?" And then my show manager was like, "That's your queue," and I was like, "No, that's cool." So then I took pictures. Similarly, when I was on tour with Bishop, we did. So I was very lucky after COVID. I got to do his arena tour. I was about to do one gig. I did 72, I think, in total. I think 74 or something like that. All the arenas in the UK, Hydro, Wembley, O2. We went, when we were doing the Echo Arena in Liverpool, we went to Liverpool West Ham. It was a 5:30 kickoff, and I was on stage at 8, so it was tight. So we needed to leave like 50 minutes for the end. Car waiting on us. Get back into the arena. I would literally put my shirt on and walk on, and we got stuck in traffic for ages. And John was like, "What's this traffic? Why is there so traffic? Where are all those people going?" And the driver was like, "They're coming to see you." And John was like, "Oh, I've never seen this." He wound the window down like a puppy. Like, he was looking out so you could see all his own traffic. Little bits like that you forget about. I remember, it made me laugh a lot. That was good. But yeah, I can't remember the question.
No, it's just like, so in terms of John Bishop stuff, how did that come about? Obviously performing in places like Liverpool, you know, the Hydro. What was that?
I was so lucky.
Especially at that stage in your career.
Yeah, so I was 2019. I was on tour with Frankie Boyle, and we did lots of venues. If you want an idea of how sound my wife is, I was opening for Frankie in Aberdeen on her due date, and I phoned her after the gig and I was like, "I'm coming home." She's like, "No, I don't think the baby's coming." So I stayed the next day, did another gig, drove home that night, and she went into labour. Timed it perfectly. She's an absolute trooper, Hayley. Big shout out to her. And then during COVID, everyone lost all their work. So 2 comics, John Bishop and Jason Manford, did a thing where each night they would get a different comic to open for them for the first 50 dates of their tour. So 50 comics each of them, 100 comics, 400 quid each. Everyone gets a bit of money. So everyone got a local gig. I got booked for Kendal in the Lake District because no one knows where that is. So I drove down doing Kendal Leisure Centre, and I swear, right, there was a sign outside saying badminton cancelled due to John Bishop. And I was like, fuck, his career's gone down the queue. Me and him, so it's like this leisure centre, there's maybe 1,200 seats out. And we chat backstage. We got on pretty well. We chat for a bit about everything. He was interested in sign language. I was doing stuff about mum and dad being deaf. We were chatting away, and then I watched the show, and then I left before the end because the car park would get too busy. I wanted to get back up the road. And the next day I was doing a sportsman's lunch with Dick Campbell and someone else. I can't remember who
Dick
else.
Campbell, what an icon, by the way. What an icon.
He's one of Thistle's worst managers. And
is he one of the worst?
Yeah, he wasn't great for us. No Gary Caldwell, but he's up there.
No.
And then I'm at that thing and I get a missed call, and I'll pick up my phone and he goes, "Hi, it's John Bishop. Do you want to come and tour with me for all of December?" So this is like the start of November 2022, 2021, and I was like, yes. And I lost work, so I cancelled tons of work to do it. we did 12 dates, and then he was like, do you want to come in all of January? And I was like, yeah. So I did 15 of them, start of February. I remember the question, you've never done an arena, have you? And I was like, of course I've not. There's only like 15 of you that do it. So he was like, do you want to come and do a couple of them, and then we'll call the tour there. I went to Bournemouth, and I had a really good one. Really, really good one. And next day he was like, do you want to just do them all? So I ended up doing all the good ones. But in Bournemouth, you'll like this. It's my first time ever performing with big screens. So you see yourself either side of the stage.
Yeah, so you're in the middle, and then
there's two massive screens, so there's like 4,000 people there. And I come off, and Adam, the tour manager, Adam is one of the best men ever. And I go to him, mate, you need to sort it. There's a security light that keeps coming on, and it's lighting up the whole audience and all this kind of stuff. So he's like, right, I'll check. And Rod, our lighting engineer, came back, and he's like, that's not a security light. You're wearing a pale shirt and you're a pale man, so you're lighting up the whole room every time we go on you on the screens. So from then on, I was only allowed to wear dark colours. I wasn't allowed to wear anything else because my head and my body lit up 4,000 people. They were like, you've absolutely fucked the entire setting, so we need to do it. So I get sent the next day. I remember going to River Island and M&S and trying to find dark shirts, and came back and we had a list, and they could see which ones I was allowed to wear and which ones I wasn't. Showbiz, innit?
How did it feel to light up 4,000 people?
Good, man. I felt like Glasgow. It was a nice touch. Selling marshmallows halfway through my set and everything. It was good. £9.
Oh, it's so funny. You know, in terms of that big venue you've got next year, it's a real big moment for yourself.
Yeah, it's mad. It's mad.
How are you feeling about it?
Fine. Like,
you know, you're not a man of pressure.
No, I don't really. I need the fear. So last few weeks before, and the good thing for me about the Armadillo is, so I'm on tour. I've had the ballpark at 30, 35 dates, something like that. So I started Inverness on the 21st of February. I would struggle to name you any other date that I'm doing. I know the cities I'm going to, but I don't know the dates. So it's just kind of you do it week by week. Yeah. But the Armadillo's the 11th of April. I know that because it's so big. I get a sales report through every week for all my venues, and it's seeing that 3,000 figure is mad. I mean, if I get over 2, it's insane. Yeah. It's like actually insane. Do you know? So we're recording this. Do you know who played the Armadillo last night?
No, I've never
Bob Dylan.
Shut up, seriously?
Yeah.
You're following Bob Dylan's footsteps? That's mad.
Whereas a few years ago at the Pavilion, the day after me was Jim Davidson. So it feels like I've moved up slightly in the world. Just slightly. But yeah, no, someone put a story up of it that I think it was Bob Dylan, and I just started laughing, and I was like, how am I doing that?
Look at me.
Yeah. It's just, someone, when I went for a look around the venue, so I've never gigged there. I think it's probably the only venue in Glasgow I've not done a gig in. And I stood on the stage and they were setting up for Andrea Bocelli. No, might not have been him. Or someone else. Some big famous person. And I was just like, because I can't remember if Andrea Bocelli's dead. I'm not sure if it's him dead. I don't know. We can fact check this.
Fact check it. We'll fact check it after.
Yeah, we don't want another.
Apologies, RIP if she is. If he is. If he's not, then, you know.
Yeah, I can smell an apology video.
Mate, I'm trying to get my second one out, right?
You got to get the numbers.
First one was so good. It's not Andrew Patel's going to be watching this anyway.
Imagine. No, is he not blind? I think he is.
Is it? Sorry, Hoskin. That's too funny.
I don't think he'd want to come see my Sing Language show anyway. So
no, I don't think about listening to my podcast.
When I was doing the Sing Language tour, one of the guys in the front row was blind, and I was like, this isn't for you. You're going to struggle to see this. He was laughing about it, and he was like, no, we can get the auditory. But for the first minute and a half of that show, I didn't speak, I only signed. And all I was signing was, and it was my idea was to find out where the deaf people were in the audience, so I could kind of play to them.
Yep.
And I was just signing, just like, I'm only signing, I'm not speaking. So like, look how uncomfortable the hearing people feel, and you could hear deaf people laugh. And then you could see the hearing people look around, and you could see them all thinking like, is it an hour of this? Like, are we missing out? So I used to do that, and that was fun. But then the blind guy after was like, that first minute was tough for me. I was like, yeah, apologies, I didn't expect that. That's fair enough.
How did that become part of your identity then, as a performer? You know,
do you know, that's actually a good question. It's always been a part of my identity.
I'm not bad, eh? I'm alright.
Yeah, you're doing okay. You're doing okay. No wonder you got a sponsorship deal for your plants. But I did the first 6 years I did stand up, maybe longer. I didn't mention my mum and dad were deaf. No, 7 years. I never mentioned they were deaf because I didn't want it to be a gimmick. And then in 2015...
That was really respectable, to be fair.
Yeah, because I was like, you don't want to be that guy?
Yeah, 100%.
So like 2000... And also I wasn't good enough. to justify talking about it, I think, because you need to learn. So 2015, I did the Adelaide Comedy Festival in South Australia, and then I did the Edinburgh Fringe. So I did my own show about dares, so I did all these kind of weird dares. Bollywood was one of them, all this kind of stuff. So did all them, and then I was like, right, I think I'm actually good enough to talk about this now. And I went and did, I want to say it was maybe The Stand in Glasgow, Red Raw. And I went down and did like 10 brand new minutes about mum and dad being deaf. And there's a couple of comments were like, I didn't know that. And I've known you this long. And I was like, yeah, it's a big part of me, but it's not that. And then, so I kind of turned it into, then 2017, what was mad, right? So I was doing something with Radio Scotland, I can't remember. And then Jay Richardson, who's a comedy reviewer, I did an interview with Jay, and I hadn't decided fully I was going to do a show in sign language. I was doing a show about mum and dad being deaf, but I was like, I really want to do this, but do you know that way, I've not pulled the plug on it yet. So I sent it to Jay in an interview. He puts it up, it becomes the most read article in Glasgow Live, going like round the world. I then do a video for BBC Scotland while I'm in a radio studio. So I come out, I'm hungover. I wish I could find this video, right? I'm wearing a grey jumper, I'm hungover, and I'm about to go to Cheltenham to my mate's wedding. So this is Thursday, the 23rd of March, 2017. So I filmed that video. My mate Mac picks us up. We drive down to Cheltenham. We got the wedding. It's in a remote place, very nice. My mate Ross's wedding, and then reception. But 10 o'clock, I managed to get some reception because I'm going back to Glasgow to my sign show the next day. That video's got 300,000 views, and this is a time before things went viral. It's on Facebook. The most positive comment section you'll ever see. People saying this, and I was like, oh shit! And I got the fear because I was quite drunk.
Yeah.
My mate Mac drove us 7 hours back up the road, and I did the show that day.
Yep.
And that was when I think my sign language identity deafness, because I had 3 people that travelled from Dundee to Glasgow to see it who were deaf, had never been to comedy, and I thought it was going to be a disaster. Like genuinely, I was, because no one had ever done it, and then it went really well, and then I took it to Edinburgh. It was sold out every day. It was like it won a Scottish Culture Award. It won an Adelaide Fringe Award, Perth Fringe. I think I got nominated. I don't know. I can't remember if I won it. In Australia, it went mad. Like it went absolutely mad. And then that probably just boosted my career. Like from then on, it was just, it kind of went from there. So it wasn't. It's always been my identity, but it wasn't my comedy identity. I think I was probably not the fullest version of myself. Oh god, that sounds wanky, doesn't it? That's oh
it does
my
a wee bit.
God.
You're talking about a sensitive subject, so we're going to allow
no,
it.
it's not sensitive to me. It's my life, but it's like, oh, that sounded pretentious, man. Yeah. Oh god.
At least you corrected yourself.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start selling Herbalife now or something like that. Get on the hustle, get on the grind.
How do you craft jokes differently between like spoken delivery and then
Great question.
sign delivery?
Yeah, that's 2 in a row, mate. 2 in a row.
2 in a row.
You look so happy. You look so happy. The structure is completely different. So in sign language, you would sign, instead of what's your name, you would sign your name what. So when you put the show together, so I've signed 2 of my own tours. I won't do it again for a while because it is so mentally taxing and hard to do. It takes me hours and hours and hours. And the hardest part is not so much the crafting the joke, it's making the punchlines hit at the same time. So you're timing your English, and what I would do is, when I did that show, I would become my own voiceover. So I would sign along to my own voiceover, or I would film myself and become my own interpreter. And then you have to stick to a script. And as a result, if someone heckles or something, you can't really deal with it because you can't pause. You're trying to do all that. So it's really hard to do. Now, I'm very lucky that when I'm on tour, I've got a sign language interpreter at every venue. I'm going to war with people just now because there's no funding for that. So I pay for everything. So
you need to pay for the interpreter to be there?
Yeah, so my last tour,
No wonder you're going to war.
I lost $9,000 of my own profit paying for sign language interpreters to make it more accessible, which shouldn't be a thing. I was on the phone to Creative Scotland recently, and they won't do anything because you want to make it more accessible.
Yep.
So now some of the venues on tour this year have been amazing because they've seen, like I was quite vocal about it, but having to do this on media and telly. So some of them are matching me with it. Some are paying half, which is great. Some are paying whatever. And the interpreters I use are brilliant. The one I use in Scotland mainly is someone called Karen Forbes, who is, do you know, I did a show recently and someone heckled, "Where's Karen?" And I was like, she cannot be more famous than me. Like, this cannot be happening. I remember we did a tour show in Hull, and Karen and I travelled together, and we were in Hull, and we went out for drinks, and people were asking her for a selfie, and I was like, you need to get back in your box. Like, you're amazing, but this is my name with Moser, not you. She's so good. I love her. And we worked together. So I worked for a Deaf Youth Theatre when I was a drama student 20 years ago, and she was just a trainee interpreter then. So we've known each other like 20 years. So I slag her off on stage. She slags. We were doing that run. So it was just for the World Cup in 2022. We did Nottingham, Birmingham, Liverpool, Manchester, Hull, Newcastle. So in that run, and there's one joke every day that was getting a big laugh, and I was like, it's not that good, but it's getting a big laugh, so cool. The fourth day we're in Manchester, and the Frog and Bucket Manchester has big screens at the side. And then I was like, I'm going to watch Karen for this joke while I'm talking, because if it was a sign language interpreter stage, you can't see it. And then I looked, and at the end of it, joke for the last 4 nights, she just called me a wank. Like, was signing like that to me. And I was like, oh, that's why you're getting a laugh. So it's not even my joke that's getting it, you are. But I remember seeing that screen, I was like, I'm not even mad at that. That's funny, man. You're going into business for yourself. But yeah, so I've got different interpreters for different bits. So they are in charge of it. So what I have to do is, every show I do, I need to record and send it to them. And they will, people don't realise, like, the skill level. Who was it? One of the interpreters, Dave Wortley, who does, like, Yorkshire for me. He was like, I've listened to your show 9 times. I've not even listened to my show 9 times. I've listened to my show like once. He went back and listened over. He said every time he was driving, just to kind of get the nuances of the joke and things like that. But yeah, why would you imagine listening to this? Imagine listening to this 9 times.
I need to listen to it.
Do you listen back to it?
So I need each episode, and it's just to iron out any kinks. So I'll listen maybe 2 times, 3 times at max. I've only done it a couple of times, but 2 times, and I catch myself saying things like the same thing over and over. So something I recently said, as I said, in terms of, every 2 seconds. So that's my like connector.
I interviewed a footballer recently, and after I said to him, I was like, you need to watch yourself. You've said obviously
it's something else I say
18 times in the last minute. It was Scotland International, and I was like, mate, you've done media training. Like, why has no one picked this up? It's so annoying. Because you know yourself, once you hear it first time.
Oh, I was messaging Stu about it. I was like, mate, I say in terms of every time I'm linking something. And I was like, you need to like stop the interview if I say it again. So you'll catch me sometimes today, and I'll be like, in regards to what you were talking about earlier.
That's gonna become your new crutch. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So I just need to get out of my own head. Talking about that deaf community and, you know, really advocating for it being inclusive at shows. Have you seen a shift since you openly started speaking about it?
Yeah, I think so. Like, not to blow my own trumpet, but I think it has been pretty good. Like, even little things. I can't remember, I spoke about this on our podcast, so it would have been 2017 when I did the Sign Language show. Aisling B, brilliant Irish stand-up who's now a superstar actress in Hollywood. Aisling messaged me and she was like, how do you get an interpreter? What do you do? And then she went on to speak about it in quite a big podcast, and mentioned me in it. And then comics like Joe Lycett have all gone and got interpreters. One that did it way before everyone else is Frankie Boyle. Frankie's been having my cousins are deaf, they live down in Essex, they've been going to see Frankie. Like, Frankie's had it for so long, he's been way above what everyone else is. But yeah, there is definitely a shift. Like, I've said this in interviews before, sign language has never been sexier. Like, you've got Rose Ayling-Ellis winning Strictly, you've got the film CODA won the Oscar for Best Film in 2023. Bishop did a documentary on ITV where at the end of that his son was losing his hearing, so it was a documentary that I worked on, and then we did like a deaf live at the Apollo. So me and John were on the hearing acts, and there's 4 or 5 deaf comics. Gavin Lilly, who's superb, hosted it, and that went out on ITV 1 at like 10:30, 2011, so like prime time telly.
Yep.
And that hasn't really happened in my lifetime, certainly. And I think one of my favourite things I get after shows is people will message me afterwards and say, I came to see you 2 years ago and I started doing sign language because of seeing your show, and I've gone and done this, I've gone and done that. The first tour I did, we counted it, we had over 800 deaf people come to our first comedy show. So it's like bringing people into a theatre. Like, I never went to theatre with my dad. My mum lip read, so my mum would maybe go to a caption or a sign performance. My dad has no interest in that. So you see families who've never been to a theatre before. That's the thing I'm most proud of, of that, because it kind of has a legacy. And it's just, it's just a big, like I said earlier, it's a big part of my identity. So I love it. There's not much I would change. Just the fact that deaf people sometimes pay concession prices and it loses you money. I remember the first time I found it out that 800 deaf people coming to their first show essentially cost me $3,000. And I was like, I mean, it's good, but let's not do this regularly. I've always done that joke. I've done that joke since on stage, and the deaf people like celebrate with their concession tickets and all that slagging me. But it's good, and a lot of them
discounted prices.
Yeah, it's funny. Some of them know my mum, and my mum's like a really respectable, upstanding member of the community, and some of them know my dad, and my dad's like my dad. So it depends on what kind of audience you're gonna get based on who they know as well. So yeah, I just love it. I just love it. And so we do the.
You can see it when you talk about it. You can see.
It's something I'm really passionate about,
Yeah.
and we've got 100 tickets kept at the front of the Armadillo for Sign Language Interpreter Views. So doing that, I'm now an ambassador for Scottish para football. So I was doing a deaf football camp with some of the GB deaf team recently for young deaf kids who'd like travelled from all over Scotland. The amputee team recently did amazing in the European Championships. We got all kinds of stuff. So I've kind of gone into that. Cause I've ended up, I would say most of my work's stand-up now, but a lot of it increasingly is becoming football stuff, which just seems a bit mad because I'm a big football geek.
Yeah, a big football geek.
I'm in with the Scotland team quite a lot, which is insane.
Do you know what's funny? It's literally my next line of questions. It's almost like you
got to start. I'll only answer this question if you start with in terms of.
So in terms of, so moving on, you become a
moving on. Yes, this is good. Yeah,
you like it. You become a recognisable face around the Scotland national team on Instagram. Clips you chat to fans. What's that like? Getting in with the fans and being,
fun.
Because you yourself are a big fan, but being able to then enjoy it with other fans. I think.
Yeah, and Saturday I was over in Athens for the Scotland game, so I was doing some filming, and Matt, who I was filming with, was a little bit late, so I was sitting chatting to these Scotland fans about what they think the game will be like and all this kind of stuff, and then he came, "You ready to do the interview?" And like all the questions I was asking him was stuff I'd already asked him, because it was just what I would be chatting about anyway.
Yep.
It's like, so it all started 2018. I'd done Off the Ball as a guest a couple of times, and then Stevie the producer asked me to be a guest host, and it went quite well, and I kind of became like a semi-regular host on it over that, and then that's branched out into all kinds of different things. So with that, I just love it. I was in.
Do you see it as work?
No, I was in Hampden, filming with some of the Scotland players on the pitch, and we're just chatting to Ben Gannon Doak about what supermarket he goes to, like off camera and all that, and just talk about the chippies and like Lewis Ferguson, what kind of foods they miss, and you're in all these kind of situations. I was filming at the Orium with Scotland women's team a few weeks ago, and you're chatting to Erin Cuthbert, who is a superstar, like an absolute superstar. Yep. Caroline Weir, who's finished 30th in the Ballon d'Or. Scott McTominay was 18th for the men's. Like, you're getting these players, and some of them know who I am, and some of them don't. Which funny, depends on where they've grown up. So like, Craig Gordon, for example, when I was chatting to Craig Gordon, I did a gig for the Hearts team the night before they played in the cup final, so just 25 footballers and me. It was awful. But Craig was like, "Oh, I remember that." So he's chatting to me. Another Scottish defender, Ryan Porteous, was like, "Yeah, I know who you are." And then we chat, and I was like, "I'll do stand up." He's like, "Yeah, no." Yeah. That makes it a bit easier. Whereas Ben Gannon Doak is a 18-year-old guy, no idea who I was. Which made it much more fun. He was just asked him if he wanted a high chair, and he was like, "That is outrageous." Which is just a good bit. But yeah, in terms of the kind of fan stuff, so now I'll host the fan zones at Hampden. So last ones we interviewed Charlie Adam and Stephen Fletcher. You've got maybe 800 fans, 900 fans there, and you're just chatting, having a laugh. I love it. I don't see it as work. I do not see it as working.
Something I was actually interested to ask you about was that you seen it as work?
No, because like this morning, so what have I done this morning already? 6:30 this morning I did the BBC Sport Scotland football podcast, and then I've also done Sky Sports News. I'm doing Talk Sport after this, maybe Radio Scotland again tonight, Sky Sports again tomorrow. That's not work. That's like chatting.
It's being a fan.
What was it? So
super fan.
Originally, someone very high up in football messaged me this about 10 minutes before I came in here, and he was like, "It's mad how you used to go on Sky Sports News to rip the piss out of people, and now you're getting asked on your tactical opinion." He was like, "Times have changed," and I was like, "That's a very valid point." Yeah. But no, I love it. I think if you can work in anything where it doesn't feel like you're working, stand up doesn't feel like a job. Traveling feels like a job.
Yeah.
Like, I'm down south this weekend. The thought of driving 4 hours is mind numbing. Traveling abroad, like I used to love, like, so I didn't go abroad till I was 17, right? So we didn't grow up with a lot of money. So 16, 17. Now I've been to Australia 6 times. I've been to New Zealand. I've been to, this is all with work. I've been to lots of European. I've gigged in Asia. I've travelled all over, and that was a big thing. I think I kind of pushed myself to travel. I remember 2015 tried to do it. So my first gig abroad was like Norway. I remember Stavanger, Bergen, and doing all that kind of stuff. That's the coolest bit for me, getting to see the world. And it's like, sometimes I'll look around my house and go, I paid for this by doing dick jokes. That is mad. Like, that is absolute madness. Like, yeah, just find it all a bit surreal. But it'll be next year, towards the end of next year, I've done stand up half my life.
Mental.
And I've ranted about this on radio shows and stuff like that. I'm viewed as like the old comic in Scotland. So I'm 37. Someone was saying, oh, there's some good up and coming comics, and they named someone. I was like, he's older than me. They're like, what? Because I'm part of the furniture now. I've been here so long, and I think the two things I'm most proud of is like bringing deaf community into stand up, and also 2 or 3 times a year I do big charity gigs, and we raise a lot of money for stuff. So I'm doing one this Sunday. So by the time this will come out, it'll be out. Starter packs, a charity, a homeless charity for rehousing people in Govan. We're doing one at the stand through Jags for Good Thistle charity. We'll have a few Thistle players come down. We'll make them $3,000. We'll make them $4,000. And that is huge. I remember going into Drumchapel Food Bank, and I was like, how much do you need a month to survive? And they're like $4,000, $4,000 a month, which is so much money. And I was like, okay, we'll get that. And we put a gig on and we got them that, and that funded them for the month. So that's what I think comics are really good at, because a lot of us come from similar backgrounds to myself. You'll get a few who are very well educated privately, and they maybe aren't in touch, but comics will do so many charity gigs, like so many, and I think that's something that goes massively under the radar. But yeah, it's just part of the nature, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's something I actually spoke with. A girl that comes to the gym, and she's got quite a big following, and she's doing homeless work, and also done a sleep out at Celtic Park the other night. And it's something I'd messaged her about, was using our platform for good. And it's actually something I've noticed a lot more, even yourself, using your platforms for really good, positive things.
I think that's one of the very few good things about social media.
Yep.
Like, I had a meeting with a social media company last week, and they used the word algorithm about 40 times, and I wanted to kill myself. Do you know what I mean? It's just, social media is awful at points.
Yes.
But the fact that you can reach your network and let people know, like I did a charity gig where I live, and we kind of give money to like local schools, whatever. With some money left over, I put a message out saying, is there anywhere in Glasgow that has, you can buy Christmas presents for kids, and things like that. Within, I'd say 4 minutes, I've got 4 replies, all the same place. Great, that's that done. I mean, I could have used Google, just looking back on it. No. But yeah, it's good for that. I think you need to kind of use your platform and stuff, especially, you'll see a lot of people in comedy with, over the last few years, with Ukraine and Russia, then Israel and Gaza, and then every year at the Edinburgh Festival I do a collection, so it's for homeless charities or food banks or things like that, and we all are very aware of the fact that, I mean, let's be honest, we're all pampered princesses in the stand-up world. You
would know more than me, mate.
Yeah, we have nice lives. Like, we can get away with it, so you should actually be able to give back and do it. I think that's really important. And that's why you obviously give me free personal training sessions.
Yeah, of course, mate, because, you know...
That's on camera, that's legally binding, by the way. Scots law. Check that, Stu, write that down. Timestamp that.
P45 in the morning for me.
You don't have a job. Like, you just cut about in the gym, walking about, waving to people. So that is most of the time I see you.
I see you coming in, mate, I just run up to the gym and pretend to put some plates on me. I'm like, or I talk to somebody, pretend I'm training. I'm like, all right, Ray, I've seen you next week, mate.
I saw a wee kid slap one of the personal trainers at the back of the head yesterday. I was really enjoying it.
What, in here?
Yeah, I'll tell you about it after. I wasn't, it was yesterday. I was on the treadmill. My son was at swim lessons, so I didn't have time, so I was on the treadmill and I just saw a wee kid slap one of the PTs on the back of the head, and I was killing myself laughing. It's one of the ones you do your podcast with.
Is it? It's one of the 3. One of the 3 amigos. You need to tell me that.
Ask him, why was that kid slapping in the back of the head?
I'll question him. I'll question him after this. Touching a wee bit on Party Thistle. Obviously, it's your
what
team.
A club.
What a club. There's not a team like Firhill Jags.
Yeah, good slogan.
Talk to me a wee bit about them. So obviously you grew up Party Thistle fan.
Yeah.
Obviously alongside Scotland. What are you thinking? What got you hooked? What's your opinions on it so far?
This
This season doing well.
Well, our manager comes in here.
Mr. Wilson does.
Yeah, I have seen him.
I've not seen him for a while. He's working hard.
He's working hard. The clientele that come into this gym is mental. Like, I don't know if you're allowed to talk about that because of confidentiality. But tell you what, see, when was it last week? I'd come back from, I'd been somewhere, I had a big night out at the weekend. I came in here, and what you don't want is 2 p.m. on a Monday to be surrounded by the injured Scotland rugby team and just you in the gym where you're sweating out your arse. And you look at them and they're doing one-handed push-ups on their side while someone's sitting on their back. I said, oh God, this is awful.
Did you go like that, lads?
I was like, I've got this one. I've got this one. Watch me do a 5k in 28 minutes. Here we go.
Sub 30.
Yeah, I'm buzzing with that. But yeah, so Thistle's like it's always been a big part of my life. So my dad's from Stranraer, so I would go to some Stranraer games. My grandpa was from Mayor Hill, and my dad went to a deaf boarding school in Mayor Hill, so we was always kind of go to Thistle games. My first Thistle game was 1996, and I kind of had a season ticket for years. I've travelled home and away, and then yeah, something I love the club. I mean, I've seen us be relegated. I can never remember which way it is. Relegated 6 times and promoted 5, or relegated 5 and promoted 6. Can't remember which way around it is. We are a yo-yo team. It's a big part. I'm always looking out for stuff. And what's great about Thistle is it's very achievable, right? So someone will say, oh, I'd love to meet a Thistle player, I'd love to meet a Rangers player, I'd love to meet a Celtic player. You can maybe meet Old Firm every now and then. If you want to meet James Tavernier, you go to the Chicken. Like, if you go, something like that. Thistle players are so achievable to meet. Like, you can meet them in pre-mark. Like, it doesn't really matter. I played one game for Thistle, technically, in Chris Doolan's testimonial, so it was Thistle against Celtic. So it was like, my first touch on a football pitch was stopping Lubomir Moravcik nutmegging me. It was mad.
Take it to the grave, mate.
Oh, I get absolutely skinned by Tom Boyd. Barry Robson 50-50'd me, a belter, and took it really seriously. I get skinned by Tom Boyd, and someone from the crowd, so it's like 3,000 there, someone shouted, "Show some fucking passion, Bradshaw." And I turned around and it was my mother-in-law just shouting abuse from me at the back of the stand, with my son who was 15 days old at the time, just shouting abuse at me. So yeah, that was a mad day.
Different kind of heckling.
There's a picture of me. I can't remember the players' order, but I think it's me and Chick Charnley get subbed on at the same time for Chris Doolan and Jerry Britton, and they're like my favourite players of this, and I'm just standing in the background like ready to come on. It was mad. So that day I played for Thistle, and then I opened for Frankie at the King's Theatre, and went back to meet mates in the pub, and they were like, "So you play for Thistle and gig with your favourite comedian, the first comedian I ever saw, on the same day?"
Someday.
I was like, yeah. And my mate Paul went, "How long you been on the Make-A-Wish programme?" And I was like, that's valid. That is exactly what I would ask for. Like, exactly. So, yeah, Thistle, I love Thistle. And that's what I really like, the Jags for Good, sort of the charity arm of Thistle.
Some of you have been quite vocal over the past.
Yeah, so I've done, this will be the 4th thing I've organised. In general, I never met the guy, Neil Cowan. Turns out he used to go out with one of my wife's pals, but we didn't know at the time. So he put up that he was doing this thing. They were fundraising for asylum seekers and refugees coming to Scotland to get season tickets and all that kind of stuff and get involved with a football team. So I messaged him. I was like, "Give me your number." So I phoned them and I was like, "Right, what can we do?" So we did 2 gigs. The first gig we had Frankie Boyle on, Fred McCauley raised a lot of money, and then we did a 10-year reunion of the team that won the league, and that was carnage, man. Stevie Lawless got pissed, started speaking about himself on stage in third person. I was like, "When do you think you're going to win the league?" He was like, "First game of the season, 1-0, Lawless." And I was like, "Yes, good." I think he ended up in the horseshoe doing karaoke with the fans and all that. That's what's so good about
That's
this.
brilliant.
You can meet people really easily, and we've got a big documentary being made about us. Do you know this?
No, I don't.
So I've been
Is this
filming.
an exclusive?
No,
Or is this the
no, I've it's been talked about, but I don't know. So it's this sounds made up, but I swear it's true, John. Right? So we've got so they've been following us around. A director called Sam Neve who worked on the Jinx. He's been nominated for an Emmy 3 times. He's been following this around, so I've been filming on and off for it. The money, I only found this out recently, is from the exec producer of Dumb and Dumber and the Green Books. So he's won an Oscar. I can't remember his name, but he has funded it. So they've been filming this all on off. So something might come out. Maybe we could be the new Wrexham, or more likely we'll be the new Sunderland. Then do that.
For Sunderland, are doing well this season.
Yeah, but their documentary was awful. It was awful. I remember I was out gigging in Bahrain, of all places, in the Middle East, just for Christmas, before Sunderland I came out, and a woman I was speaking to, her son was a third choice goalie, and I was like, is it going to be good? And she was like, he's seen some of it, and I was like, how is it? And she went, put it this way, he's looking for a new agent. And I was like, okay, this isn't going to be good. And it was amazing telly, but I don't think it was good if you're a Sunderland fan or whatever.
Not great.
But with Thistle as well, lots of bigger known comics and lots of other people through me, when I see them, will go, Thistle are doing well, or Thistle aren't doing well. My old tour manager, Giles, he's a Leyton Orient fan, he watches every time we're on telly, he'll send me a picture of Thistle and all that, so I've indoctrinated a few people, it's good.
What's the most Thistle thing you've ever seen or heard? So something that just goes...
Oh, I've got two.
Now, Kingsley's obviously one of those things that's iconic. Like,
the fact that Kingsley, I'm doing a gig on Sunday and Kingsley messaged me, or not Kingsley himself, obviously, he doesn't thumbs, but the guy that plays Kingsley, he's like, I'm going to come to your gig, and I was like, please don't come in fancy dress, like, don't do that, that's very distracting. If you've not seen it, it looks like Lisa Simpson and the son had a baby, that is the best way of describing it. The two very part of this things, Kingsley's played by an accountant, that shows how middle class we are, and one time I was on the radio arguing on Off the Ball that Thistle aren't a middle class club, because this is what everyone says, and I was like, we're not a middle class club. I went to Firhill, I walked to the toilets and someone was drinking a bottle of Malbec. And I was like, come on man, have a bottle of Bucky or a Mad Dog or something like that, stop bringing us up.
Middle class,
yeah, bring us down, don't bring us up.
In the wrong league.
He's got a corkage. If you're in a football game with a cork, you've lost your life. Like, so yeah, that's probably it maybe.
Personal and future, big tour coming. What's the heart of this new show? How does it build on your past work? Very much.
Heavy question.
Yeah, heavy
question, man. That's like,
heavy one. Do
you want me to show my work in? like in a maths exam? Yeah, I think it just builds on. So what I try to do is sing language tour, completely different tour, sing language tour. So DEFCON 1 was 2023, and that was like a big sing language tour. I signed all that myself. 2024, I did the Doppelganger show, so that was completely different. And it's just because I think you can, like I said earlier, I think you can get typecast and that you don't want to do the same thing over.
Yep.
So it's just lots of stuff, like growing up in a family with parents who are deaf and watching my wife go to sign language classes. My son's 6 years old, he's learning sign language. Like, watching all that, it's funny, like we were, a few weeks ago, my brother lives out in America, and my mum and sister were around at mine, and my wee boy was there. And my mum and dad were like, let's play the game Scattergories. They bought it to take it to America. And me and my son were playing against mum and dad. And it came up for the music round. And my wee boy just turned and went, I think we've got this. I was like, yeah, that's good. You're bullying your deaf guy and grandpa already. Well played. So little things like that. I was like, the minute that happened, I was like into my notes on my phone. I was like, write that one down. So we'll build on that. And then I think, yeah, it's just, I just love being able to do it. Like, it's such a privilege to be able to have, especially in the current climate, like, because stand-up tickets aren't just ticket prices.
Yep.
So I think I'm one of the cheapest shows at Armadillo, and it's still 25 quid, which I think is quite expensive, but it's still
it's quite reasonable.
2 tickets, 50 quid, drinks, 20, 30 quid, babysitter, taxis. Some people might go hotel. Some people. I remember last year, there's a couple from where are they from? They're really nice, like the Borders or something like that. And they came to see me in Belfast because they couldn't come and see me in Scotland because they were getting married, so they flew over for the weekend and all that. It's like, you should have messaged me. I would have given you free tickets. Like, that's insanity. But you've got to remember that side of it. So it's just kind of making sure you put on a good show. I would love to do it like I have this year. So tour, take a year off, and then tour, because it gives you more to say. I think when I did the Doppelganger tour, I rushed straight back out. That's because I was kind of riding a high, like off the back of doing Bishop's tour and other stuff I was doing, filming. I've got a couple of things coming out, telly-wise. Something's happening in December that I can't talk about now. By the time this comes out, I might be able to, but I can't talk about it yet. I've got a Radio 4 special coming out next year, which I've not written. That's just dawned on me, actually. I'm filming that in February.
Sorry, mate, I've gave you work to do there.
Yeah, that's good. That literally, do you not see the weight just come my shoulders there? I'm your
PTM accountability.
Yeah, the weight would be better on my shoulders if he was a good PT and actually built muscle. So yeah, we'll see where that goes. So I'm touring until May. I'd like to go back to Australia the following year because I've not done it since 2022 now. I did 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and then just with the way tours have worked, I've not been able to go out. I love out there, man.
Like, you feel like second home?
No, because it's a bit more. It's too hot. It's way too hot for that to be a home for me. But I just love it out there. The gigs are always fun. I did New Zealand 2 years ago, and that was just stunning.
Incredible.
Like, do you want to know the highlight of my New Zealand trip?
Tell me the highlight of your New Zealand
Thank
trip.
you. In terms of, so it could be. Most other people might say it was the fact I did the New Zealand Comedy Gala in front of 3,000 people and I went on telly. The show sold out. We did a charity gig and they gave us a free helicopter ride around the Moors. This wasn't my highlight. The highlight for me was my first day back in Auckland. Real Madrid were playing, I think, PSG
Of course it's football.
on Sky Sports, and I was jet lagged, so I woke up at 5 a.m. New Zealand time.
Yep.
So I put on the telly to watch, and I swear in my life, instead of showing Real Madrid on New Zealand telly, they were showing Partick Thistle Queen's Park. And I was like, this is the best day of my life. This is so good. Lying in bed in New Zealand in a wee apartment they've got
no
me.
way.
I swear. I've got the picture. I'll show you. It was Sky Sports 8. We didn't make it in the top 7, but we made it onto 8. I still don't know why. But yeah, that was maybe the highlight of my entire trip.
And then, looking to the future, you mentioned a few things there. Could they maybe change around if a certain result goes a certain way and you could be working some US?
Yeah, I think if we qualify, I'll go to America, definitely. And then you can edit this. So, no, because we've not qualified. You can do that way. Germany was so much fun. I ended up working most days when I was out there doing telly or radio or filming with Scotland, interviewing former players and stuff like that. It was, yeah, it's just mad. So if we do qualify, I think I'll have less of my pals coming out because it is such a big expense, and the mileage you might be able to do between the all 3 countries. With Germany, like, I don't know about you, but I've made like no mates since I was P1. Like, all my mates are from P1. Like, genuinely. Well, I sort of like, one of them was in another class, but his twin was in our class.
I'm like the opposite. I've actually don't know any of it.
Do you not?
I don't speak to any of it. Well, I say I don't speak to any of it. There's like a small group, like, but not because I don't like any of them. It's just because like life happens.
Nah.
You're P1 loyals.
P1B, Mrs. Edmiston. Shout out Mrs. Edmiston. She kept us all together. And yeah, so all 7 of us went out to Germany. One of us had our stag do out there. So my mate Mac. So 2 people came to join us. Went to Mannheim, an awful place, and did that for a few days. I went out there. It was just sublime. So I don't know how many would go out to America. My mate Craig was out in Athens with me. I mean, he stayed 36 hours longer than I did. Just messaged me in the Monday, still there. I was like, eating ice cream in Athens. It was because he lives in London. It was like the flights were like so much cheaper if I stayed an extra 2 days. So probably not in the lager amount he spent. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'll definitely, if we qualify, I think I'll be there. If we don't qualify, I might go out anyway because my brother lives there and he's kind of between it.
Good opportunity, right?
Yeah, I think it'd just be cool to see in our country. I really got the bug.
You been to America before?
Yeah, a few times. Yeah, I got married in America.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, so me and Haley got married in New York. Because
Don't know why I did. That's one of those things I didn't know about.
No, I spoke out in a show. Oh, I've got a special going up on YouTube, so that'll be in that one. 2018, yeah. So we saw how much a wedding was and just went and got married in Central Park. It's hottest day in New York for hundreds of years. It's like 38 degrees. I was sweating like fuck, man. My dad, there's a wedding picture. So we didn't tell anyone. We only told my mum and dad, Haley's mum and dad. Haley's an only child, so we told my brother and my sister. So it was 10 people that knew. All my best mates didn't know. I told them via WhatsApp. I just put them in a picture, just get married to the lads. And my mate Craig phoned me, who I was out in Athens with. He was living in Asia at the time. He was in a nightclub in Thailand, and he phoned me. It's like 4 a.m. there. New York's like maybe 4 p.m, 5 p.m. time. And he phoned me. And he'd obviously forgot what he phoned me for. So England had just beat, I think it was Algeria 2-0. And he was like, Harry Kane's a diving bastard, isn't he? He was just chatting to me about that. And then we hang up and he phones back like 2 minutes later. He's like, oh, congratulations. Like, he just remembered we got married. Just the way his mindset works. So I've been to America a few times. I was out there for summer there. Spent 3 weeks out there. I like it, man, because some places I look athletic. Like, it's great.
What would you want? Me out?
Yeah. Check me out my
PT.
hidden hideout. Lovely plants. I mean, If you want an idea, not to kind of ruin the magic about the fact that plant pot is actually sitting on a Bulmer's crate.
Mate, that's the afters. As soon as the cameras go off, we have an afters, mate. Do you know?
Imagine! That would be good.
We just get everybody just comes in 5 minutes, mate. We just have mad afters on you.
No one talks to you here. Who are you kidding, man?
I had to Hulk you come up to
Yeah,
that.
no. It was when I went down to the reception, I was like meeting John. She's like, "Who's John?" No one called that works here. Oh, the guy that gets sacked and keeps coming in. Yeah.
I'm trying to get him, don't know how he keeps coming in. If you see him, let us know.
Yeah, you've got squatters' rights. Like that's what's happening in this wee corner. It's a good wee setup.
No, listen, mate. Thank you so much for coming in. Obviously, taking time out of your busy schedule as a journalist. We'll call you. An analyst.
I got called a broadcaster the other day,
A
and I was like,
broadcaster
I hate
analyst?
that. I hate that.
You're basically an analyst, just the Scotland's broadcaster, analyst. Tactician.
No.
You better hurry up, mate. The game's soon.
I know. Broadcaster, you don't want, because what I found out was I've hosted Sports Sound. So I've hosted Off the Ball, which is like a comedy programme, and then I hosted Sports Sound, and then that means you need to you become a professional journalist then, and you need to get pronunciations right. And I'll never forget Celtic. I was doing Hibs against Queen's Park live from Easter Road. Rob McLean was in commentary. I was presenting. Rory Lloyd, Jim Duffy were there, and Celtic literally 2 minutes before halftime signed Viljamai Sinner Solo, and I needed to announce it. So there's like 4,000 fans all around me, and I'm trying to phonetically listen how you spell Viljamai. So I'll always remember that name. So and also he's played 2 games for Celtic in the last 2 years. So I was like, what was the point of even announcing that? But no, thanks for having me. I hope you get more free clobber. What's next? What's next for the hustle? What else are you trying to get free?
Oh, mate, we'll see. We'll see what the future holds.
Trying to get something.
I'm sure you'll be back on soon, mate. You'll be back on.
I'm going to form a coup. Just take over.
As a mate.
No. Thanks for having me, man.
Cheers, mate.